do it.
Hello, all you beautiful people in the Mediocre to Magical Academy. Welcome for another Thought Leader Thursday. I am so excited for today because one of my BFFs, I am so honored to have this woman in my circle, RahQuel Star. She is phenomenal. You guys, I tagged her above. Click on her profile, connect with her right now. Your mind is about to be blown. And Thought Leader Thursday is all about bringing on inspiring people in our community, in our world, who are making a difference. And RahQuel, you are definitely doing that. So thank you so much for being on. Can you tell how much I love her?
I love you too.
She is just love all the way around. So yes, thank you for being here. And I would love for you to share with our audience just a little bit about you and what you do.
First of all, thank you, Ashley. I love you too. I'm thrilled to be here. And yes, so mainly what I work with is getting into the gamma brain state. And there's one particular tool that's very direct for that called the gamma breath. Literally in 1 minute, you can do this breath sequence and get into this higher functioning state where you have more focus, energy to take new action, and new clarity and new perspective. So all the work that I do involves being in gamma. So whether you're activating a healthier body or activating a more open heart or more focus in your business or expansion in some kind of passion or purpose of yours, we do it by getting you into gamma, and then it goes on from there. So there's more I could tell you, but that's like the essence.
Yeah, it's so good. You know, many things that I love about RahQuel, many, but one of them is the depth of her knowledge and how we can literally, I mean, we came over, we've been talking for quite a while, and I'm like, oh my gosh, we gotta hop on and do this interview, but I cannot wait to spend more time with her on this platform and in this space to just, for you guys to have an introduction to her wealth of knowledge, like on everything. Let's talk about some of the things that you've been involved with. It's not, I mean, it's gamma breath, that's one huge aspect of it, but
well, it started with a career as a professional ballerina, which I think laid the groundwork for a certain type of focus or synergistic approach to consciousness and a way of already being in a meditation state. And following that career, I trained in counseling. I was working with people that way. I trained as a Reiki master and was working with people with energy healing since the early 90s. Then started my own practice with holistic nutrition, counseling, energy work in 2001. A year later, I discovered breathwork, and it really changed my life. At the time, as well as doing all that work, I was DJing globally in clubs and rave, this kind of gathering. But then when I got into this breath work and went into trainings in Italy and in India for it, it shifted let's say my vibration and my purpose in life. And then I started working also with music and with guiding conscious dance journeys to help people become more embodied, tapped into their creative flow, and access a more open kind of energetic state in which they could connect with their higher self and get more clear on what they're here to do and kind of clear all the static or the constructs and patterning that wasn't really for them anymore. So now I've created a synergy of the gamma breath work with the conscious movement, with 4 different types of energy work, with brain training. So this works for corporations as well as for individuals or for artists and athletes or people recovering from addiction or trauma. There's many ways we work with this work. So I've created a synergy of all these things. So basically, there's other techniques I trained in that include that. So somatic experiencing, bioenergetics, Osho active meditations, the holistic nutrition, which is basically tailored to each person, whether it's Ayurvedic or macrobiotic or raw foods and so on, just like the right synergy. But essentially, it's just all about helping people get really clear in themselves, in their body, getting as high vibration as possible, releasing any negative perspectives or toxins and any kind of, let's say, dynamics in relationship or reality that are not supportive. So
yes, yeah. I know, RahQuel, you are so humble, but I'm just like doing this right now because she has dedicated herself to her practice and to her clients. And it's just, I love seeing the transformation, even in our friendship, how much I've grown. If I need to process something and I know that I need wisdom, not catty gossip, but I need wisdom, I'm going to call up my friend RahQuel because you are so wise. No matter if somebody's at the beginning of their journey or you are a healer and you are looking for like additional healing, next level, like upgraded stuff, RahQuel is your person. So I'm so excited to have you on.
Oh, thank you. Well, what I would say, thank you, Ashley. I so admire you too. You're such a beautiful, bright light, and making such a heartfelt difference in the world. And with your clients, I'm very much in mutual admiration.
Thank you.
And what I will say is, speaking of gossip, so I find that I am working on just being super intentional, and that's what I feel I do hold space for people to do, is to be super intentional in their word, in their thought, in their action, that it become congruent. And again, what facilitates that is getting into gamma. So as we go through a process where we do these gentle meditative breaths, they're a mix of mouth and nose breaths in a particular sequence and speed. It gives us that access to a more expanded, connected sense of oneness, and it's a boost in confidence and love for self. It's very heart-opening, but then also a sense of connection and an understanding of new perspective that's more inclusive or broad. So inside of that, what I would find is that when there's limiting beliefs, or let's say gossip or any kind of challenge that's coming from like a smaller spectrum of perspective, but when we get into gamma, it's a higher vibration and more expanded perspective. Now we come up with new solutions. There's new access to information and new ways of seeing ourselves in the world, which in effect then literally changes our reality very quickly. And then also just our connection with everything, with source, with other people, and just what we choose to say. And we find that our words create, and they do. So.
Yeah. That's so good. I just had a vision of, you take a pebble and you put it, okay, I'm right-handed right here, and you're putting it to your eye. It looks like a huge problem. But with the gamma, as you were talking about, if you move it out and you see, wow, there's so much more room to heal, so many more tools to pull from, that's when deep, deep, deep transformation happens.
Yes, and if I could describe maybe a little bit more about how it works specifically.
Yeah, go for it.
So what happens is, as we're doing these breaths, we are actually navigating through various brain waves that we already have, and namely beta, alpha, theta, delta, and so on. But they correlate to different functions: body, emotion, thought, planning, rhythms, and sleep, and so on. But as we do these breaths, we actually boost these brain waves into their highest level that they can be, which is gamma. And our pineal gland is becoming activated at the same time as a release of dimethyltryptamine happens in the brain. This substance is also known as the spirit molecule, and people seek it out maybe in different types of journeys and so on to access what they call a portal to the universe or their higher self and consciousness. And what's amazing is, with our own key of our own breath, we can stimulate that experience. That is when we have the new insight, the new action plan, the new information come in for how we're going to solve something in our business or in our life or our health and so on, is that we get into that frequency with the breath. And what's amazing is that now breath is really becoming known globally as the next wave. Like, let's say decades ago, yoga was the new wave, and it's still with us, but now breath is being recognized. So that is really amazing. There's many teachers out there who are proponents of using different types of breath work, and gamma is definitely on the frontier now, with a need for awakening on the planet, more and more people looking at personal development and wanting to grow and expand and create a new type of community consciousness on the earth. Gamma is necessary for that, because we need to be functioning at a higher state to take action in new ways and activate more energy in our bodies. So that's what I do.
I love it. When I said celebrity, like global celebrity, I completely meant it. Like, you truly are changing the world, and oh gosh, I love it. So let's talk about, we've had a taste of gamma, of kind of what you do. Let's talk about client transformation, client testimonials. What have been some of the most interesting things that you've seen or witnessed in your practice?
Okay, absolutely. So many clients that I've worked with have been able to recover from addictions completely, having a whole new perspective on their life and what they need, and being able to have wholehearted fulfillment and illumination in their life. So that's very powerful. So that's like many. Then people who, let's say, have had some kind of trauma that's limiting them in an area of their life, and they have repeated patterns coming. This is many people also. By neutralizing the charge with the breaths, then now they don't get that repeated loop or that same limitation coming up, and they're able to auto support and process. So many people who are now successful in the area they want to be without feeling limited. I've just had so many people thank me that have been able to get off medications, who are now super healthy and at cause in their life, who have described to me that it's not that they have distracting thoughts taking over, but that they can use their brain and their mind to focus where they want to focus. Many people who have, let's say, saved their marriages or improved their relationships with their kids. Even more people who have made life changes that they might have been afraid to make, but because of being in gamma and having a new perspective, that's more than half the essence of it there, right there. Then they could just make that change from a space of freedom. Everybody responds that it's liberating. Wow. And that their heart is open and they feel more generous with themselves and with everybody else and much more clear.
I love that. And so we did a session early on when we met. I was like, okay, this is pretty legit. We've done workshops together and my mind is just blown. And I actually forgot, okay, if we have a persistent issue or problem, it shows up again and again and again, right? We're like, ugh, and it's charged. There was something that was showing up in my life when I had done a session with you. And as I'm sitting here, I'm like, what was it about? That's great, because I released it. I was like, as you're talking, I'm like, shoot, I want to talk about it. I don't remember exactly what it was. I think it was something about moving out of my house, but there's no charge there anymore. Like, that's the power of the gamma breath. Like, imagine if you can make decisions from a place of freedom. And a lot of people do, and that's exactly what you said. Oh my gosh, that's so good. My heart was like,
it was amazing. It really is that quick that in the matter of one session, somebody could come in with a challenge, and then we clear the different influences and experiences from the past that might be creating the concern or influencing the current situation. And all of a sudden, it's just like an aha moment, and there's this big energy surge or upgrade that happens, and then the change is easy, and all of a sudden, things manifest very quickly, attracting the new home that's just right, or the new work situation, or the new journey or trip or whatever it might be. And I will mention one thing about this, because what's really neat with the focus with this work is that even though we do address trauma and belief systems and patterning and so on, it's not so much about dwelling into it for sessions and sessions and sessions. It's more about creating an access point to that whole web of neural pathways where it's held and how we hold it in our body and our cellular memory. And we do this breath, and it just gently and very lovingly creates a vibrational shift. And then from there, we use more of the session to just boost positives, our positive desires, our positive experiences, tools and skills that we're going to use to put the mix in to have the new result. And the results are quick. It could just be one session, whereas in the past with a different type of traditional therapy, somebody could be in therapy for years or months trying to figure something out.
Because we haven't gotten to that root. Oh, beautifully and perfectly said. So let's talk about the different types of sessions that you have. I know that her workshops, by the way, you guys have got to come. They are amazing. She's done them all over the world, and we're lucky enough to have her here in Reno. Workshops, individual, online. What are other sources that you have for your sessions for people to access you?
Certainly. So right here in Reno, every Monday night is a free gamma breathwork group. So for anyone who's interested and wants to try it out, and that's at 8 till 9 p.m. at the Morris Burner Hostel, because I also have an experience with Burning Man, and it's my gift to the community. Then I offer online or in person if you're in Reno, if you want, various sessions. So gamma breath activations for any kind of topic, challenge, issue, or desire you want to manifest. Whole nutrition coaching, couples coaching based on the gamma methodology, where you're able to access and synergize perspectives and bond better. Reiki energy healing sessions. I train people in all levels of Reiki. I guide people through their individual or in a group dance journeys combined with gamma to open and activate body flow. I also facilitate once a month what's called a cacao gamma dance here at Flux Movement Lab, and that's the third Sunday of every month. For that, we imbibe some cacao. It's just nutrients that are heart opening. We do some gamma breath activating with intention, and then everybody dances while I DJ. So I also DJ occasionally at different ecstatic dance gatherings here and in Tahoe.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
So ecstatic dance is like an awesome way to go and celebrate and dance somewhere that is supportive. If you don't want to be out at a club late at night, you can go to somewhere in the evening that's like a nice studio with the most amazing setting and music, and just do your own free dance. It doesn't matter what it looks like, but it's an awesome community. I also offer gamma breath trainings, and if you're long distance, we do them online by video conference. If you want to do it in person, you're here, we do that. And it's just a 10-hour training to be certified as a Gamma Breathwork practitioner. It really is that simple.
I didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah.
Who's with me?
Yeah, it's really that simple. I have the formula down, and the thing is that because you're being activated into Gamma as we're learning, the downloads and the way the information gets accessed and activated is so quick. And there's a very simple format to how you can then support people, your clients or communities with Gamma in just that amount of time. It's a certified program. It's recognized by the American Association for Drugless Practitioners, which is globally recognized as well. So that's available either in group or individually as well.
That is amazing. And you do have an online program.
Yes, that's true. There's So on my educational materials page, I have several different audios. There's different Gamma breath meditations that you can pick for different topics that are individual, and you'll find those on the page. And then I have a whole series called the orbs. So there's 12 orbs that we're talking about here, kind of similar to the chakras or energy centers, having to do with different life themes. So for example, you could do activations to boost and upgrade these areas of your life: health, your purpose and passion, your relationships, your family, your job, your skills, and so on. So when you go onto that page, you can select either just one of them or a few of them, or the whole package of 12, which I'm going to be launching a special campaign for on Monday, so that there's this 50% off. You could get the whole program, so that's pretty awesome too. But then you can listen to the audios at leisure. They're these 20-minute clips with different aspects of the topic you want to activate. So let's say, for example, you want to have a boost in your job. And so then you listen to part 1 and you select which is the current challenge or which is your current goal, and you do these process breaths that will boost your perspective and what your new information or actions. And then part 2 and part 3, and it's the same for each area.
Wow.
So that's a pretty specialized self-training personal development course that then you can do in your own time, but you'd have all the downloads.
That is so good. And you guys, I'm definitely going to be posting this in the group. So if you are interested, let's do it together. It's going to be so amazing. Clearly, you can tell by this interview, RahQuel does not half-ass anything. She's 100% all in and committed to her practice. And so I know that's how she is in her online programs as well, which is just so, so cool. So what would you say, since this group is all about being mediocre, elevating from mediocre to magical, what would you say your top tip for elevating your lifestyle from mediocre to magical would be?
Let's see. Well, I would say to know and to recognize that it is your birthright to thrive. That however it is that we came in, and that there's constructs in our society to survive, just know each day that you can thrive. And then take a moment each morning when you're getting up and just think, okay, what is one thing I could do today that will feel like I'm thriving to do or experience? So cool. And it could just be to sit out in the sun for 2 minutes and take a couple of deep breaths, or to have a nice cup of tea, or it could be, well, I'm going to go to the gym, or I am going to write that document, or I am going to make that important phone call. But it doesn't have to be big and not to be pressured, but just trust what message comes to your heart. What am I going to do today that's going to have me feel like I'm really thriving? Or just to be, if it means to relax for 5 minutes and not do anything, and that's thriving for you, just know that you need to trust your own discernment and your own messages, and that's the thing. The other thing that you can do is a basic Gamma breath, and that takes 1 minute, and you could check that out on my YouTube page and just follow along. And that's a good tip every day is to do a Gamma breath to get yourself into a boosted, more energized, clear state.
Perfect. Okay, another thing, I would love to run a challenge for that. We should totally do a challenge for that. So if you guys are in, again, let me know, because I love doing things together. I am a pack person through and through. So how can we get a hold of you?
Okay, there's several ways. My website is energyofbreathschool.com. I also have the YouTube channel, The Energy of Breath School, and there you'll find many, many Gamma breath video activations you can do. You can find me on Facebook either through The Energy of Breath School or my personal page, which through Ashley, if you type in RahQuel Star, my whole name will pop up. Instagram is Energy of Breath School. And what am I missing?
Easy peasy. You can also connect with me, and I will, we're BFFs for life. So if you have any questions, definitely. Oh, that's so good. Okay, I have one more question for you.
Yes.
What is your favorite word, and what does it taste like?
Love
Oh, you're so good. How people respond to this question is like so telling of the characteristic. Like, you didn't even panic. You didn't even like panic or stress out. You're like, love, but of course it is.
And it tastes to me like one of the most delicious pink lady apples. That's just what came to me right now. Though another day it might be like peaches or strawberry.
I love it. That's so good. You're amazing. Through and through. I'm like balancing our camera here. Eventually, I'm going to have better camera stuff. But for right now, I just need to get these amazing people in front of you. Like, clearly, she is gold. Please go connect with her. Follow her accounts. She's always sharing amazing, amazing things. If you guys have any questions, you can post them below. I will also be sharing all of her information in links above and below. So we love you guys so much. Is there anything else you want to leave our audience with?
Just, I love you, Ashley, and I feel honored. I love our community, and we are just super activating here in Reno, super high vibes. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You can say it.
Oh,
So there's a special guest that we have here. This is Raquel's daughter, and I love her. I love them and their dynamic because she is always. Oh, here you go. She's always with Raquel. I used to think, limiting belief of, I have a daughter, so that I have to keep her at home while I do these things. Nope. That's not happening. You come every time. Did you want to say something to our audience today?
Hello.
What's your name?
I'm Jennifer.
And you're lovely, and I adore you, and you're one of my daughter's BFFs.
Yeah.
Good influence. Awesome. Well, do you want to wish everybody a good day while we hop off?
Mm-hmm.
Have a good day.
Have a good day.
All right, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.